We now come to the 2016 President's Medal, starting with the announcement of the winner of the RIBA Dissertation Medal. This year's Dissertation Medal judging panel was chaired by Professor Peg Rawes of the Bartlett School of Architecture and included Dr. Harriet Harris, Senior Tutor in Interior Design and Architecture at the Royal College of Art, Dr. Katie Lloyd-Thomas, Senior Lecturer in Architecture at Newcastle University, and Professor Philipp Ersprung, Dean of the Department of Architecture at ETH Zurich. These judges read dozens of dissertations over the summer and then met at the RIBA to discuss them and select the dissertation medal. To give you an idea of what judging the medal looked like, we've captured the judges' deliberations on film.
The dissertation is really key to architectural education. The spread of work that we've seen today really commends that.
Currently there's a lot of focus on the design and the result and the product. We tend to forget that this is only possible if there is a theoretical discursive framework.
It's particularly important because of the need of the architect to show that they engage with society, to show that they can deal with complex situations and analyse and produce an independent but a critical and informed judgment.
There's a sense of the personal, the ethnographic within the work, and it's that diversity that we've been incredibly honoured to be able to reward within our commendations and within the medal.
I looked at the 45 entries and I would say it's a very high standard, it's a very high level of quality.
There was some really outstanding work.
So for example, we've got a thesis that deals with a city and a region which are, if you like, new to discussions about modernism and the development of the modern sensibility and intellect and architecture. And this is a piece of work which shows real potential for more discussion in that area. It adds creatively and actually very thoughtfully to a new field.
The dissertations don't only speak to the profession, they speak to other disciplines as well. There's a confidence in the style of writing and an openness in terms of the audience engagement which has been utterly compelling. It isn't, if you like, architecture just for architects, it's architecture for everyone.
Architectural history and theory is a very dynamic field. History doesn't mean that you just look back or you try to fixate something which has happened or you try to conserve something. It's a way to see more clearly what's happening now and perhaps also what's coming.
But it's also a question of the methods that were being used. So I think one of the pleasures of looking at the work was seeing ways of doing research that, at least for me, seemed to be very much embedded in an architectural way of looking, of trying to build evidence, of finding different ways to interrogate phenomena.
Architecture is an open profession and it's open to new ideas, and we expect young people to be contributing to that discourse.
This is, I think, crucial that it remains on this global level where we meet at some place and then try to figure out, perhaps not what's the best, but where is the field going. And that's, of course, always the field which is determined by the young students and colleagues, because they are the future.
The President's Medals recognise the hard efforts of academics and their students in shaping the knowledge base of our profession. This award is so important in protecting this as an important part of the architectural canon, of recognising the capabilities and talents of our future practitioners and indeed everyone operating within the field and the discipline of architecture.
Now, this year, the judges in this category awarded 3 commendations in addition to the medal. To present them together with the RIBA President, I'd now like to invite to the stage RIBA Vice President Education, Alan Jones. And the first commendation in this category goes to the dissertation, A Flaneur's Guide to Boys Town, Performativity, Pride and Place. The dissertation addresses the ways in which the streetscape of Boys Town, Chicago, functions as a site for contemporary expression. To achieve this, the author unpeels the layered history of the neighborhood, the first municipally recognized gay village in the United States, by using oral histories from community members to illustrate the varied and complex ways in which we construct, alter, erase, and rebuild our surroundings as an extension of ourselves. The dissertation was supervised by Brent Carnell at the Bartlett School of Architecture, and its author is Robin Farmer. The second commendation goes to the dissertation, The House That Politics Built, Parliament of Aotearoa. This dissertation proposes a new parliamentary architecture located in the centre of Auckland City. Political events of the 2014 New Zealand election and concepts from local and international political buildings dictate the architecture of a new parliament complex, using the prioritisation of public amenity to facilitate democracy. Or that, at least, is the conceit. Because in reality, the project deploys architecture as a satirical tool for the dissection of politics, consumerism, and the media that ultimately resonates across continents. The dissertation, supervised by Kathy Waghorn and Aaron Patterson, was submitted by the University of Auckland, New Zealand. And we are delighted that its author is joining us tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, the author and winner of tonight's second commendation is Tessa Ford. The third commendation in the dissertation category goes to Are You My Mother? An exploration into the bonds between people and places. The dissertation aligns qualitative and quantitative findings from place attachment studies with elements from two other disciplines that are not commonly associated, attachment theory and environmental preference research. By exploring concepts such as prospect and refuge theory alongside the phenomenon of root shock and safe haven and secure base behaviours, the author identifies a common language and theoretical framework to understand how emotions construe a sense of place and can have a great impact on architecture. The judges were impressed with this sophisticated and highly accomplished piece of work, produced at Part 1 at London Metropolitan University and tutored by Joseph Kohlmeier. Ladies and gentlemen, the third commendation goes to Philippa Longson. And now to the winner of this year's dissertation medal. Entitled A Juxtaposition of Ideological Expressions, evaluating the urban transformations of Yerevan, Armenia, during 1915 to 2015. This dissertation discusses the contribution of Armenian-Russian architect Alexander Tamanyan and his substantial work in Yerevan during the 1920s towards the creation of a national architectural style. Following the Soviet occupation in 1920, a recently formed independent state was forcefully ended. However, its nationalistic ambitions were not completely inactive throughout the foreign rule. Tamanyan's 1924 master plan for the city was deeply rooted within a nationalistic rhetoric. Over time, it was widely used as an emblem to the city, presumably due to its rich political allegories and nationalistic drive. Through it, efforts were made to overcome a difficult past by erasing specific histories from the city and replacing them by the enhancement of other selected memories. Supervised by Ian Jackson, the dissertation was submitted by the University of Liverpool. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this year's RIBA Dissertation Medal is Roy Kachadorian.
I'll say a few words. So it's a great honour to be here today, receiving this prestigious award. So I thank the RIBA for making this happen. I'd like to thank the University of Liverpool, particularly my tutor, Dr. Ian Jackson, for his excellent guidance throughout the project. Indeed, this would have not been possible without his collaborative nature and passion for innovation. I also thank Mr. Tim Finn for the support his practice provided me with during the early research period. Lastly, I'd like to thank my family for the ongoing support over the years. Special thanks to my mother and father. Thank you.
Congratulations to all our winners in the dissertation category.